What is up and welcome back, and today we're going to learn the AI crossover. Now we're going to talk about a lot of small details that can make a big difference. So with that said, let's dive right in. And the best way to explain this, going to put the ball down so you can get some mechanics, some body mechanics, how this move works. So the first thing I do want to talk about, let me slide this ball a little bit more forward, is that it's going to be very important that you get some power with this move. It is really going to be a setup that you are doing it blow by, right? On Iverson, you recall, a lot of times he would get past defenders like this, then he would take off so quick, able to drive past defenders and finish at the rim. So you're going to have that in your game in order to get the defense, the bite that you're able to drive and score. So make sure you're able to do that, and then this crossover is going to become even more lethal for you. So having that in mind, with the AI move, one important detail about it is selling that drive, and you can do this by generating a lot of momentum, giving you that little extra edge over a lot of players by pushing into the ground, or also called a momentum step, also a dig. When you go like this, right, you generate a little bit more momentum. But the way AI does it, he just wouldn't press into the ground. He would move to the side with that momentum step, going like this. Now you're not going to want to jump too high. Why? Many times, I know you've seen this, especially if you're able to steal the basketball from your opponent when they're jumping up, right? They're gonna do a crossover and they go. That becomes way too easy to read. So try to avoid jumping up too high. With practice, it's going to become like a low step to get that extra force, and also to relocate a little bit to the side of your opponent. He's right here. Then you go right. Now you're creating that lane. You see, you're creating an advantage. And you can imagine the defender's right here. Already looks like you're trying to drive. You see that? Looks like you're trying to drive. That right there, in a way, kind of looks shifty, looks a little bit twitchy, right? When you're like that. So try to get that little movement. Now, of course, you can also do it where it looks like you're not jumping into the air, right? You can push into the ground like so. I've done the AI crossover like that many times. AI used to do it like that as well. Disguises the crossover. You see that? You're still doing those mechanics where you're getting force from this leg. The one that's going to be furthest from the ball, you still get force, right? It just doesn't look like it lifts. But definitely you can get a lot more force when you are lifting, plus relocating, right? If you don't lift it, you cannot stay in one spot. So I'm giving you different options, different ideas, so you can expand your game. So that's gonna be one important detail. And the way you can practice it, try to open up. You can be neutral, open up, right? Once you get that down where you're not hopping too much, you feel comfortable, then you can practice moving to the side. You see that? Now the next thing is going to be, make sure you're able to, again, we're trying to stack the advantages. Make sure once you do that little step move, then when you do plant your other foot, that you make it look like you're trying to go. And the sideways view is going to be like this. You do that little step, right? Then your body's gonna lean forward. Look at that. So that defender, the way he's looking at you, you're already moving this way, and then it looks like you're going like that. Then the crossover happens, right? You see that? Just like so. So try to practice that. And if you do feel off balance, it's because you're standing up too straight. When you are going like this, feel off balance, or too much momentum is going forward, that you feel you're going to tip over, or you're not that quick, You're not able to change direction fast because you're standing too tall. What's gonna help you is lowering your center of gravity. That's gonna help out a whole lot so you can move forward. Look at that. If I stand up straight, almost feels like I'm going to tip forward. But if I lower my center of gravity, right there, you're able to keep your balance. So that's gonna be two main details that are going to help you out a whole lot. That's some body mechanics. You can get those down without the ball. You can practice this, you're watching this video, you practice this at your home, in your room, wherever you're at, you can get this down, right? You're at the store with your girl, or maybe you're a youngster with your folks, or you're waiting somewhere. You can get this down. You can become a master. You don't need a ball to get this movement down, the body mechanics. Now, with the ball, of course, you gotta practice with the ball as basketball. It's going to be learn to float the ball. It's gonna be very important. You might feel a little awkward when you're trying to set up this move. You don't know where to start. And one way that helps out a whole lot is bounce the ball in the direction you're trying to fake. Right, if you're kind of just flat, it might seem a little bit hard for you to be right here and just be and do the move. Instead, that feels a little bit awkward. Bounce like this. Then you get that natural motion of that little step, right? So yeah, that natural motion. Too legs dribble. Iverson, again, he used to get past people like this. Right? That little stutter step, you saw that? Then do the crossover. So whatever you need to do, you know your level where you're at. Practice being somewhat neutral. It can be a tiny bit wide. Then whatever move you need, then do the move. Now again, in order to do the AI crossover, you're going to have to hang the ball, right? Make it look like you're going to be doing a hezzy. Kind of what it looks like. You're going to be doing a hezzy like that. Again, the AI crossover is a counter. So practice floating the ball. We talked about this earlier. When you float the ball, try to keep your hand on top of the ball or on the side underneath the ball. It's going to be illegal. It's always been that way. Now in the NBA, the modern NBA, they don't call that as often. So it's going to be up to you to decide if you're gonna do it the legal way or the illegal way. I'm gonna leave that up to you. You know where you play at. You know what kind of ref you have in your games. Playing pickup ball, you know who's gonna call it, who's not gonna call it. So that's going to be up for you to decide. But the right way to do it is going to be throwing the ball like this. It is harder, it takes more skill. It's a lot more easier just to go like this, right? Way easier, way easier. Way easier. You can even manipulate your movement a lot more, right? You do that a lot faster. Looks crazy, but my hand is underneath the ball. So I try to avoid that because I know a lot of players out there don't respect that. But again, it's going to be up to you. Now, the way you can practice throwing the ball, you can go like this, right? Practice that. Keep it on this side. Try to keep it a little bit closer to your body, right? All those details. Or you can throw the ball like that. Look at that. On top, on the side. So many ways to practice how to float the basketball. Give you some examples. Maybe you know different methods. Incorporate all of that in order to get that movement down, right? That you're going to be driving. Now, to keep adding more details to it, your offhand, if you're going like this, and you're telegraphing, you're going to be receiving the ball. So, if you can tuck that arm inward, like Iverson used to do, how he got Jordan, done with the little baby dribble, then cross them up. So that arm's going to sell the drive again. When you get past somebody, you protect the ball. Right, you're right here. You protect the ball when you're driving through. So that off arm going to help sell that drive. So that's gonna be it for today. Hopefully you got a lot out of this video. I really tried to break down every little step all the way to the end of the move. Little details, like I said, they're small, but they can make a big difference. So we'll be back next time with more. Until then, peace and much love, everyone.